Welcome back to Imagine If. I'm your host, as always, the Butler. We have a very special show for you today. But before we jump into the show, I want to personally wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and also thank all of my supporters, for I am very grateful for you. This is Real versus Fake Scary Stories, episode 14, the Thanksgiving special. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. In today's show, I'll be telling the creepiest Thanksgiving story ever told. Sometimes our brains get overworked and it's hard to tell real from fake. It will be up to you, the viewer, to determine if this Thanksgiving story I'm about to tell is based off of real facts or if I've completely made up this story using my creative imagination. But before you make a determination, I strongly urge you to be open-minded. If there is one thing that all of my viewers know by now, is that there are things that happen in our world consistently that is simply unexplainable. At the end of the show, I will tell you if this story was real or fake. Thanksgiving is a day traditionally when people come together to give thanks for the things that he or she is thankful for. It's been a tradition in the United States of America since 1789. And while most people have an amazing story to tell each year, the story that I'm about to tell will be the creepiest Thanksgiving story you've ever heard. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I've been best friends with my buddy Richard for as long as we both can actually remember. I usually go to his house on Thanksgiving, and he usually comes to my house for Christmas. We usually start the day by playing flag football. It's usually just me, him, most of his cousins, and a couple of mutual friends. After the game, we help assist whoever's cooking before watching NFL games. This is exactly how the day went, but things got extremely creepy once everyone sat down to eat. There was roughly 15 people there that day, and as we all said grace, we all split up into different sections of the house to actually eat, because we did not have a table that was big enough to fit everyone in. So me and Richard went into the basement along with two of his cousins. The basement was average size. We sat in the corner near the window, and his other two cousins sat kitty corner to us near the stairs. Behind the stairs, there was a small closet that Richard usually used to store laundry essentials. Laundry soap, towels, fabric softener, things of that nature. As we were just sitting down and eating, just kind of talking and hanging out, we heard a sound coming from the closet, but it also sounded like footsteps, like someone or something was pressing but scratching up against the door. Richard lived near a field, and it was probably just some mice or something. That was our original thought. Richard went and checked the closet, but didn't find anything. We didn't think much of it. We chatted for a few more minutes, and his other two cousins went upstairs. And that's when things took a crazy, creepy turn. They were upstairs for a couple of minutes before we heard this piercing scream coming from outside, and everyone in the house seemed to rush out. Me and Rich both ran upstairs, obviously, to see what all the commotion was about. When we got upstairs, everyone was outside, staring at the neighbor's house. The neighbor's house was on fire for some unexplained reason. Me and Richard both ran downstairs into the basement to go get our cell phones so we can call the fire department. Once we reached the basement, all the lights went off, and we heard a scratching noise again coming from the closet. Richard ran to the closet and tried to open the door, but the door was locked. Or should I say, the door would just not open. The creepy part about this is the door itself had no lock on it at all whatsoever. However, it was impossible to open. Then we heard a whisper coming from the top of the stairs. It was a woman's voice with an English accent. The voice sounded like a middle-aged woman, not too old, but the door was open and no one else was inside the house at the time. But the voice just kept whispering, "Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave." We both sprinted up the stairs, and I was leading the way. Once we got to the top of the stairs, the door itself shut close. This was no gust of wind. This door slammed shut, and as that happened, we both smelled this foul, disgusting, rotten odor. I tried to open the door anyway, but when I grabbed the door handle, it literally burned my skin. The door handle was steaming hot for some unexplained reason. Rich, he tried to call his family members to let them know what was going on, but nobody answered. All the commotion was outside and focused on the burning house. There were paramedics, the fire department, the police, all outside, but tending to the house. I ran back up the stairs, and I was about to kick in the door. I felt a tickle on the back of my neck. So I turned around, and there I saw Richard. He was levitating a few feet off the ground, and he had piercing black eyes. The only thing I can think of was to start praying. I have seen these type of things in movies, but it was never something I thought that can actually happen. My grandmother gave me this necklace, which had a cross on it when I was 11 years old, and I've always used it to not only keep my faith, but also to keep me guided on the right path. I held on to the cross and just prayed. I simply focused all of my attention on the cross. I felt this sense of physical heat come all across my body. I can't tell you to this day how long I was actually praying for, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But when I opened my eyes, I saw Richard's body. It was still levitating, but it was slowly being lowered to the ground. His back was facing me, and as his feet actually hit the ground, I saw, clear as day, a woman dressed in black. It was a black dress, and she literally left his body. Make no mistake about this. This was not an apparition. As far as I could tell, this was an actual woman that left Richard's body. I know this must sound crazy, but this is exactly what happened. She walked very slowly to his left after leaving his body, and walked very slowly up the stairs through the door that literally had burnt my hands a moment before. As soon as she left the basement, Richard's body collapsed to the ground. On the way down, he hit his head, and he was unconscious for about 30 to 45 seconds. When he finally woke up, he had no recollection of anything that had happened that night. The last thing that he remembers to this day was saying that the neighbor's house was on fire and we need to go call 911. He had no recollection at all whatsoever of going back into the basement with me. No recollection at all of the woman I described. Richard, nor his family, has not experienced anything remotely close to that scary Thanksgiving Day. It was definitely a Thanksgiving that we would never forget, and most people would not even bother listening to. The only thing paranormal that Richard and his family has experienced since then is the sounds of church bells ringing from the basement between the hours of 2:30 and 4:30 a.m. Was this story true? Could this have actually happened at any point? What do you guys think? If you thought that this story was actually fake, you're right. This story never took place. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'll see you guys soon. And thank you for watching Real versus Fake Scary Stories.